must be created. So the DBA level पे must create रहना चाहिए. तो I'll show the user कैसे exist होते हैं and all. User management में क्या आता है, like create a user, granting permission, connect permission and all. So backup and restoration, this is a very tedious job for DBA. Okay, so backup and restoration, user and client issues. As a DBA, we have to handle daily user issues like database slowness or maybe like any issues. I'm unable to connect to the database because as an application user, you might be aware, unaware, like you are not aware, like what is the things and what is the overrun and all those. So जब आप इस पे काम कर रहे होगे Eclipse में maybe while running connecting to database, you must have got like TNS error or unable to connect to the database. So patching activity is also there. As a DBA, we must like keep updated database. Every quarterly Oracle release the patch. So quarterly, every 3 months, we have to apply the database patches. So one of patch, PSU patch, there are many patches. Okay, process knowledge. When you join MNC, that is multinational company, in that case, you must have to record each and every change. कुछ भी चेंज करना है तो आपको परमिशन लगेगा ही लगेगा. परमिशन in which point of view, like you have to create a work order. जो कंपनीज में काम करते हैं तो उसमें वर्क ऑर्डर और रेमेडी और जो ऐसे बाकी सारे टूल्स है तो उसके अंदर आप लिख सकते हो किस लिए रेज किया. लाइक फ्यू मंथ्स लाइक कोड फट गया, प्रोडक्शन फट गया, तो उस केस में आपको मैनेजमेंट पूछेगा कि ऑन विच बेसिस वी हैव मेड अ चेंजेस ऑन डेटाबेस प्रोडक्शन. In that case, you have to show it. There is the work order or there is a case. On that basis, I have worked on it. अगर small company होगा तो directly अब हाँ मैंने सर को पूछा है कर दिया है. It will work, but in MNC it won't work. That's why we need a process knowledge as well. DB creation, upgradation, जो 11G, 12C, 13C, 18C, 19C, तो upgrade भी होते रहता है. अभी now we are moving from already we moved from 11C to 12C. Now we are moving from 12C to 19C for binaries. Okay. When you select the DBA role, then you forgot, like you must have to forget sleep because you have to support 24/7. Again, it's depend on like project, on which country you are going to support and all. But a maximum 80% you have to support 24/7. And if it is banking project, then you must have support 24/7. There is no exception. Okay. Troubleshooting is also like when things goes wrong with database, uh, DB has to identify the cause of issues using alerts file, log file, and all other tools. Tools also are there. So you must have to identify the root cause. Tuning is also there, like application tuning, database tuning, query tuning. You guys must have written inner join, select, mostly join command. In the organization, join command, we have to tune it first. So tuning is also there. Okay, so did you guys started the database or did you get any chance to start the database?
You are doing mini project, no students? So in line with that, you can answer.
Okay, it's fine. Okay, when database like when you fire the command startup, okay, while connecting a squad tiger, you must have used the username and password. Okay, so when the startup, when fire the command startup, it will go in no mount mode. There are many phases. You'll see at the end of that is database open and you can be able to use it. But there are many phases in internally. And this slide is very helpful when you giving the interview or if you decide like as an admin DBA or any type. This is internal actually working. So first it will go the database in no mount mode. When you fired a startup command, okay, it will go in no mount mode. Actually, no mount mode, it will read a parameter file. What is parameter file? Parameter file, parameter file have the information about all the databases and configuration. Like what is the database name, what is the control file and where it is. ये सब पैरामीटर फाइल में होता है. So it will go in no mount mode. It will check if the parameters file is there or not. If yes, it will read it. And the second is memory allocation is also there. जब database आप start करते हो तो उसके लिए memory लगता है, तो वो memory allocate करेगा. And Oracle have a mandatory 5 background processes. So it will start in no mount mode only. यहाँ पे सब कुछ ठीक है, तो सेकंड में जाएगा, दैट इज माउंट मोड. तो माउंट मोड में जाने के बाद वो फर्स्ट रीड करेगा कंट्रोल फाइल. तो कंट्रोल फाइल क्या होता है? अभी कंट्रोल फाइल इज द मेन फाइल विच होल्ड्स द डेटाबेस स्ट्रक्चर. ओके, पूरा कुंडली उसके अंदर रहता है. तो इट विल रीड ऑल द कंट्रोल फाइल इंफॉर्मेशन इफ इट इज फिजिकली एग्जिस्ट और नॉट. नो माउंट में भी कंट्रोल फाइल रीड होता है, बट लाइक क्लास में हम बैठते हैं तो दोस्त को पूछते हैं कि भाई मेरा बाइक बाहर से दिख रहा है क्या? तो दोस्त बोला हाँ दिख रहा है. ये सेम होता है नो माउंट में. ओनली वो जाके देखता है कि कंट्रोल फाइल का लोकेशन है कि नहीं. बट माउंट को भरोसा नहीं रहता, वो खुद जाके देखता है. सो इट विल गो फिजिकली ओवर देयर एंड इट विल चेक द कंट्रोल फाइल एग्जिस्ट और नॉट. So if it is exist, it will read all the information and it will move to the next process further. And data file is visible in mount mode, but not available to users. It means the database in mount mode, but you as an application user, you won't be able to fire any queries like select star from employee. You won't be able to fire because database still in mount mode. जो भी database का recovery होता है और कुछ फेल हो गया तो डेटाबेस बिल्ड करना है, उस केस में रिकवरी होता है, तो उसके वो ओनली माउंट स्टेज में ही होना चाहिए और माउंट स्टेज में ही होता है. सो द थर्ड इज लाइक ओपन. नाउ डेटा फाइल इंटीग्रिटी इज वेरीफाइड. जो भी कोई किसी ने फाइल अगर मिस लाइक उसको छेड़छाड़ किया है तो उड़ गया फाइल, तो उस केस में द डेटाबेस वोंट कम इन ओपन मोड. तो उसका सब इंटीग्रिटी वो वेरीफाइड है क्या, कंट्रोल फाइल और एक्चुअल डेटा फाइल दोनों रिकॉर्ड सेम है क्या, उसका हेडर कंटेंट सेम है क्या, वो सब चेक करेगा. इफ डेटा फाइल इज मिसिंग, स्टेज इन माउंट मोड. अगर किसी ने वो जाके डेटा फाइल को उड़ा दिया, डेटा फाइल मतलब लाइक हमारे हार्ड डिस्क में जैसे पार्टीशंस होते हैं, सी ड्राइव, डी ड्राइव, यू ड्राइव, वैसा काइंड ऑफ को रिलेट कर सकते हो बट नॉट एग्जैक्टली द सेम. ओके, तो वो डेटा फिजिकल डेटा फाइल में अगर किसी ने वो उड़ा दिया तो वो डेटा फाइल माउंट में नहीं आएगा, ओपन नहीं होगा, वो माउंट में ही रहेगा. ओके, नाउ हियर ओपन लाइक आप जो कनेक्ट स्क्वाड टाइगर जो करते हो, नाउ द डेटाबेस अवेलेबल टू यूजर मींस यू कैन able to fire the query and you will get the output. I'll show you on live demo on machine as well when we'll see the database crash recovery.
Sir, just sorry to interrupt you in between. These students are having more hands on this MySQL, the open source databases. Maybe they have not handled Oracle. So after like you told them about Scott Tiger, maybe there is no response from them. Maybe they have not like for your batch, you students used to use this Oracle as a database tool. Right, no? Now these students have started majorly using open source databases.
Okay. Actually, MySQL mostly used for web application, like for PHP developer web application. Yes. This is a very useful for MySQL, right? In that case, it's good. Yes. But if you see the career point of view, MongoDB, now the boom is Cassandra, Redis is very good databases. These are NoSQL but small databases.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
So now the point is database crash and recovery. Okay, I'll tell you before moving this point. कुछ साल पहले दो तीन. Can you hear me?
Yes. Actually, in between that message is coming. Na, I'm just admitting the students. We can hear you.
Okay. So 2 साल पहले अभी जो WhatsApp ने काफी सारा प्रोटेक्शन दिया है हमारी सिक्योरिटी को. ओके, माइट बी 2 साल पहले किसी ने किया है नहीं किया है, तो आपके फाइल मैनेजर में अगर जाके देखोगे तो WhatsApp एक फोल्डर रहेगा, WhatsApp के अंदर एक डेटाबेस नाम का फोल्डर रहेगा. तो उधर 6-7 नाम के फाइल्स हो गए, 6 और 7 डेटा फाइल बैकअप. दैट इज जो आप डेली कॉन्वर्सेशन करते हो तो उसका एक फाइल का बैकअप 5-6 रहते हैं, आपके कॉन्फ़िगरेशन फाइल का बैकअप. तो ये 2 साल पहले जब आप किसी का 2 मेन फाइल अगर लोगे और किसी और के मोबाइल में डालोगे और वहां पे व्हाट्सएप रिस्टार्ट करोगे तो उसका चैट पूरा आपके चैट मोबाइल में आता था. So same kind of concept we are using here. So crash recovery is used to recover from the failure, either when single instant database crash or all instance Oracle real application cluster. I'll tell you the meaning of Oracle rack application cluster and single instant. When we are using in college that Oracle is a single application, single instance, मतलब एक ही database होता है. तो that is single. आपने बंद किया तो पूरा database बंद होगा. आपने चालू किया तो पूरा database start होगा. तो अभी ये all instance मतलब Oracle में concept होता है instance Oracle database and instance. Okay, both are same, you can say, but instance is a bit different. I'll tell you the real-time example. IICMR is a database. Consider करो IICMR की 3-4 branches है. IICMR 1, IICMR 2, IICMR 3. तो अब इस केस में क्या होता है? 3 ऑपरेट है ये 1, 2, 3, IICMR 1, 2, 3. तो कंसिडर करो कुछ रीजन की वजह से, बारिश की रीजन की वजह से IICMR 1 is not updatable now. Okay, तो 2 and 3 है. तो but still there is no impact on IICMR. उस केस में इसको कहला जाता है कि हाई अवेलेबिलिटी, मैक्सिमम अवेलेबिलिटी. अगर कोई ऑर्डर गया तो मेन डेटाबेस को इम्पैक्ट नहीं होगा. दैट इज इन ओरेकल one database have a multiple instance. Okay, I'm repeat, database have a multiple instance, but one instance can support only one database. Okay, this is the concept in Oracle actually. तो इसको हाई अवेलेबिलिटी कहला जाता है. तो अगर ये क्रैश रिकवरी जो होता है कॉन्सेप्ट, इसमें डीबीए का मैनुअल इंटरवेंशन नहीं होता है, क्योंकि आजकल सब ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में हाई अवेलेबिलिटी यूज करते हैं, क्योंकि पैसा कितना ही जाए वो इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है. मेरा बैकअप एंड रिकवरी होना चाहिए, बिकॉज एवरी कंपनी हैव इम्पोर्टेंट एसेट इज बैकअप. तो बैकअप तो रहना चाहिए. तो ये क्रैश एंड रिकवरी मतलब लाइक जो भी चेंजेस है, आप अगर कोई अपडेट कमांड फायर कर रहे हो तो ठीक है, लाइक इन बिटवीन द डेटाबेस वेंट डाउन ड्यू टू सम रीजन, डेटाबेस वेंट डाउन. इन दैट केस कमिट जो भी आपने कमिट किया है, दैट चेंजेस शुड रिफ्लेक्ट इन द डेटाबेस. इफ इट इज नॉट डन, इट शुड द रोल बैक. तो उस केस में ISMR 1 तो डाउन गया, तो ISMR 2 and 3 is still there. तो ISMR 2 and 3 will surviving node. तो वो जो आप 1 जो कर रहा था वो इधर लेके आएगा, वो 2 and 3. इस केस में डेटाबेस डाउन नहीं गया है, still 1 and 2 instance still running. So in that case crash recovery जो होगा वो other node करेंगे. And here like yes, instance recovery refer to the case where surviving instance recover a failed instance in Oracle real-time application cluster, that is RAC. In both instance and crash recovery, there is a no need any manual intervention. No need to specify any archive log file, etc. जो भी होगा तो मीडिया रिकवरी एंड फाइल रिकवरी बैकअप में मैं दिखा दूंगा. ओके, मीडिया रिकवरी is performed by restoring database files. Okay, applying the archive log manually using recover command. जो भी बात किया मैंने. Media recovery need a manual intervention where crash recovery is doesn't. Now I'll show the demo on crash recovery. Okay, I'm connecting to server now. Okay, actually we are using a putty. Putty is a small, like very small tool. You can say it's emulator. Putty is like a small terminal होता है, emulator होता है. वो डायरेक्टली फिजिकल अभी सर्वर तो हमारे पास होते नहीं है, मतलब इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर तो यहाँ पे होते नहीं है, तो आउटसाइड ही होते हैं. उस केस में पुट्टी के थ्रू हम डायरेक्टली सर्वर को कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं. एंड इट सपोर्ट एक्चुअली सेवरल नेटवर्क प्रोटोकॉल्स इंक्लूडिंग SCP, SSH, टेलनेट, ये सब प्रोटोकॉल इसमें यूज मतलब वो सपोर्ट कर सकता है. ओके, मेरा स्क्रीन दिख रहा है अभी पुट्टी कॉन्फ़िगरेशन का जो एक छोटा टूल ओपन किया है.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
थैंक यू. ये एक्चुअली लाइव सर्वर है. ओके,
What is the use of DC user command?
Actually, DC user is a username.
Okay.
Yeah. So in a company, we have to we have to enter as the employee ID, but I have created one DC user for demo
Okay.
purpose.
Okay. Fortunately, in the first semester, they have practiced a little bit on Linux commands. So maybe this interface they will find somewhat friendly.
Okay, here I connected as a SQL plus slash as a sysdba. Sysdba is a super user, so it won't ask any kind of password and all. Okay. आपको लॉग फाइल दिखाने का ट्राई कर रहा हूँ जो क्रैश रिकवरी है वो इंटरनली कैसे होता है तो वो सब रिकॉर्ड होता है नोटपैड अलर्ट लॉग में.
Okay. Students, if you can recollect, we have studied log-based recovery. So, sir is trying to show you the log file also. You can correlate them.
ओके जो डेटाबेस में अभी क्या चल रहा है तो उसका लॉग फाइल है. ठीक है. डेटाबेस नेम this is the dev cloud database name. Okay, I'll exit Linux. If you wanted to see if the Oracle database is running or not, so you must have to fire ps-ef grep pmon. Pmon is actually mandatory background process for Oracle. So dev cloud pmon process and dev cloud is the database. Now अभी मैं करता हूँ उसको kill. तो जो भी इंटरनल चल रहा है वो क्रैश रिकवरी कैसे करता है ये वो भी दिखा देता हूँ. ठीक है तो kill command is used to kill the process in Linux, but on server on production हम ऐसा नहीं कर सकते. अगर ऐसा किया तो डायरेक्टली एब्सकॉन्ड हो सकते हो. लाइक दैट इज अ वेरी बिग एक्शन. तो आप कोई भी प्रोडक्शन पे ऐसा किल नहीं मार सकते हो. तो अभी मैं यहाँ पे किल मार रहा हूँ बिकॉज आई हैव क्रिएटेड दिस डेटाबेस फॉर यू गाइज ओनली. ओके जब मैं फायर मारूंगा तो ये देखो वो चालू कर दिया ओरेकल इंस्टेंस टर्मिनेशन. वो पूरा किल भी किया और डेटाबेस स्टार्ट भी किया. लेटेस्ट टाइम स्टैम्प भी आ गया. यहाँ पे था September 10. नाउ द टाइम स्टैम्प चेंज. डेटा ये टाइम स्टैम्प जो है डेटाबेस स्टार्ट कब हुआ है ये रहेगा. ओके सेम टाइम. ठीक है आई शो यू नाउ रिकवरी कहाँ पे किया. See, completed crash recovery at beginning crash recovery thread 1. हमने कुछ भी नहीं किया, Oracle इंटरनली उसने क्रैश रिकवरी स्टार्ट किया. ये टाइम पीरियड है, स्टार्टेड रीडो स्कैन, वो रीडो पे गया, वो स्कैन किया, उधर कुछ है क्या, अनकमिटेड, कमिटेड, अगर कमिटेड है तो सेव कर दिया, अनकमिटेड है तो रोल बैक कर दिया. सो बिगिनिंग इट विल स्टार्ट द क्रैश रिकवरी, कंप्लीटेड रीडो स्कैन. ये थ्रेड जो है, अगर जो मैंने रैक कॉन्सेप्ट जो बात की है, रियल टाइम एग्जांपल ICMR 1 2 3, अगर कंसिडर करो यहाँ पे 3 है तो यहाँ पे थ्रेड भी ज्यादा रहेंगे 1 2 3. तो हर थ्रेड एवरी इंस्टेंस के लिए रिकवर करेगा. तो पैरेलल रिकवरी स्टार्टेड विद 3 प्रोसेस, यहाँ पे 3 प्रोसेस स्टार्ट किया है. ओके, स्टार्टेड रीडो स्कैन, कंप्लीटेड रीडो स्कैन, स्टार्टेड रीडो एप्लीकेशन रिकवरी. ये इसका रिकवरी लगता था जो आप मैम ने बोले थे अभी कि रीडो लॉग्स वाला, अर्काई और रीडो लॉग. सो एक्चुअली रीडो लॉग्स मूव्ड इनटू द अर्काई लॉग. तो इसके लिए रिकवरी चाहिए था, वो ले लिया उसने खुद से, और कंप्लीटेड रीडो एप्लीकेशन, दैट्स इट. उसके बाद नाउ द सी फ्यू अर्काई प्रोसेस, बैकग्राउंड प्रोसेस स्टार्ट हुआ. और जो मोड हमने सीखा है, लाइक नो माउंट, माउंट एंड ओपन. तो यहाँ पे ऐसा नो माउंट तो दिखाएगा नहीं, बट माउंट एंड ओपन का दिखा देगा. आई शो यू दैट एज वेल.
Before we go ahead, just related to the screen which we can see now, redo scan, which you just explained, no? What I
Right.
want to ask is like, as students have also understood that if there is start and commit record, obviously it will be redone. And if there is
Right.
only start record and no commit, then it will be rollback, means it will be
Yes.
undone, right? But
Yes.
from where these records are identified and then this redo scan is applied?
Actually, when you are making a changes, like when you are firing update command, okay, Oracle internally it will log that record for a
Okay.
specific period, and we can say the can't say the log. It will latch. Latch means small lock. So it will lock particular small period of time. When you are changing like any record, like salary earlier salary 5,000, now you are changing a 10,000. Okay, 5,000 is already in image, in undo image. Undo and redo is also there. Redo means after the changes, undo means after before the changes. सो वो जो इमेज है वो वनडे में रहेगा, और जो चेंज किया अपने 10,000 जो सैलरी का अगर कोई एम्प्लॉय का 10,000 किया हो तो रीडू में रहेगा. इन बिटवीन अगर गया तो वो अंडू वाला इमेज लेगा, अगर आपने कमिट किया है वो तो रीडू वाला इमेज लेगा.
Yes, I absolutely understood that. But in case of crash also, like Oracle system interprets it like automatically, like after the crash,
Yes, yes,
if it
yes.
is to be understood, like which transactions
Yes.
are to be undone and which are to be redone.
यस यस यस. तो अगर आपने अपडेट किया, कमिट किया, वो ओरेकल ऑटोमेटिकली कंट्रोल फाइल अपडेट करता है.
Okay.
And the control file holds the structure of database, everything, each and every small moment it
Okay.
hold it. तो कंट्रोल फाइल को पता रहता है कि क्या है और क्या नहीं. एंड पीमॉन इज मेन, पीमॉन जो अभी मैंने किल मारा था, दिस इज द मेन प्रोसेस फॉर क्रैश रिकवरी. ये बाकी
Okay.
रिकवरी का कुछ नहीं देखता है. सो पीमॉन इज मेन प्रोसेस फॉर क्रैश रिकवरी. तो पीमॉन
Okay.
पता रहता है. एंड जो आप अंदर का बात किए, तो अगर कंट्रोल फाइल को तो ऑलरेडी हैव इंफॉर्मेशन लाइक दिस इज द रिकॉर्ड एंड ऑलरेडी अपडेटेड इट.
Okay.
See here, alter database mount. We haven't filed alter database mount, but Oracle internally filed it. Alter database mount. यहाँ पे start किया है. All mount in mount mode. Then the command is completed here. And now database is open. I'll show you. See, database is open. और हम जो देखते हैं डेटाबेस ओपन, सब जो देखते हैं तो डेटाबेस ओपन होता है तभी दिखता है, बट बैकग्राउंड का इमेज किसी को पता नहीं रहता। जो भी दिखाता हूँ। ओके, I'll stop the database now. See, shutting down instance immediate. Now the database immediate, it got closed, it got dismounted, then it will stop it. See, Oracle instance down. We have fired a stop command, it got closed, dismounted, then stopped. I fired startup command. See, the database went in no mount board. It read the P file, it allocated the memory, and then it mounted the database and then opened the database. Hope the image you recalled it. Okay. Backup and restoration. This is also complex job for any DBA. So the purpose is backup, rebuild the database in case of failure or कुछ भी accidentally हुआ तो वो रिकवर होना चाहिए। जैसे कि बहुत सारे एप्लीकेशन रिक्वेस्ट आते हैं तो ये मैंने टेबल डिलीट किया, अभी ये मुझे रिकवर करके चाहिए। तो अभी 12C से नया फीचर आया है कि इवन दो स्मॉल टेबल भी आपने ड्रॉप किया है तो विदाउट स्टॉपिंग द डेटाबेस वी विल रोल बैक इट दैट टेबल। Strategy is to protect the database against the data loss and reconstruct the database after the data loss. जो डेटाबेस का बैकअप होता है ये प्रोडक्शन इन्वायरमेंट में जो लाइक कंपनीज में काम बात करोगे तो डेटाबेस का बैकअप होता है डिस्क पे। डिस्क मतलब सेम सर्वर, अगर सर्वर से भी आपको टेप पे लेके जाना है, इवन टेप पे भी बैकअप होता है। इट विल बी बिट स्लो बट टेप पे भी बैकअप लेते हैं, बिट कॉस्टली एज वेल। लाइव डेमो में ज्यादा मजा आएगा देखने में। ये स्क्रीन विजिबल है? यहाँ पे रिकॉर्ड्स कितने दिख रहे?
10 records. Students, hope you are there.
Yes, ma'am.
Guys,
Yes,
अभी
sir.
जो ये जो दिखा रहा हूँ बैकअप रिस्टोरेशन का, आई एम प्रीटी मच श्योर अब कि 3 साल में कोई भी नहीं दिखाएगा, इन फ्यूचर एज वेल। तो लाइव प्रोडक्शन वाला कोई भी नहीं दिखाएगा, तो ये बहुत सारा इंपॉर्टेंट है, तो ये थोड़ा सा देख लो। ओके, तो अभी मैंने कमांड मारा है सिलेक्ट स्टार फ्रॉम A1। यहाँ पे टोटल 10 रोज है। ओके, so the last is 10, you can say. What I'll do, I'll insert one more, insert into I committed it. Now what I'll do, I'll backup of that data file. Now data file actually it hold the record and it hold all the data. So the data file is a physical actually. तो अभी मैं उसको उड़ा देता हूँ। तो यहाँ पे मेरे पास around 12 records है। I'll take the backup. In Oracle, we used RMAN utility. This utility is used for recovery, backup and recovery restoration. इसके लिए यूज होता है। Let's start from ये जो डेटा फाइल है ये मैं डिलीट कर रहा हूँ। यहाँ पे 6 रिकॉर्ड्स है और ये डेटा फाइल है, तो इसका मैं पहले बैकअप लेता हूँ। Here using target database control file instead of recall, जो कंट्रोल फाइल में अपडेट कर दे रहा है कौन सा बैकअप लिया है मैंने। ओके, तो यहाँ बैकअप ये टेबल्स ये डेटा फाइल है, इसका बैकअप यहाँ पे ले लिया उसने।
Why 6 actually? There are 12 records, no?
No, the record actually 6 is ID.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
trying to show that ID. पहले see, this is the ID. ये डेटा फाइल है और इसका फाइल आईडी जो है वो 6 है। तो जो बैकअप होता है यूजिंग लाइक फाइल आईडी और पूरा डेटाबेस का बैकअप। तो
Like
now I have to,
inode we use, no?
yeah, only I had to put file ID. So file ID I have used it. तो यहाँ पे बैकअप लिया है। What I'll do, I'll delete that file. अभी हमारे पास जो 10 या 12 रिकॉर्ड थे उसका बैकअप तो है हमारे पास। अभी और इंसर्ट करता हूँ, इंसर्ट इनटू K1 values। यहाँ पे 14 रिकॉर्ड है बट बैकअप हमारे पास 12 रिकॉर्ड्स वाला ही है। अभी ये जो दो आर्काइव्स है अभी वो दो बाद में अप्लाई होंगे, वो दिखा देता हूँ। तो अभी इसका हमारे पास जो एक्स्ट्रा 2 रिकॉर्ड किया है, वी डोंट हैव अ बैकअप फॉर दैट रिकॉर्ड्स। ओके, stop that alter database।
Because we took backup before inserting these new records. That is why we have backup up to 12 only, right?
Yes, yes. So we are not taking a full backup, like 14 records we are not taking. So I'll show you the how the recovery is also applied. Alter database data file, we have to mention the file ID. Offline, Oracle internally it will offline that file and then we'll drop it. Okay. If I fired select star from K1, we'll get output or not. We will not get it because the file is not there. See, this file is not exist. Okay, there were six files were there. Now we'll see how many files are there. Still 6 files are there, but physically files it got removed it. Okay, let's start from K1. We won't be able to fire it. Now I'll restore from the backup that 6 file. We need that data. So for that purpose, I need to restore that data file. Any confusion? No sound means I'm considering no confusion or fully bounced.
Students, first of all, he has shown how to take backup, and then now we are trying to restore that particular file.
Yeah. I'm restoring data file 6. Okay. See here, restoration is done. Now the restoration is completed. Whatever we took that backup, now it's applied. Okay, what about that 2 record? We need that 2 record as well. So we need to apply the recovery. So in the slide, if you observe, there were written media recovery need manual intervention, where crash recovery won't. Here we are doing a media recovery. We have applied, we have restored the backup. Restored means restoration. It will restore the backup file from backup location into the database. Okay, recovery means where actually you are applying the recovery. Whatever you are restore the file, you have to apply that changes into the database. So now I am recovering data file 6. So recovery is also done. Select start from K1. Still it won't work. Let's see why. Because the data file is offline mode now. Data file 6 online.
What exactly is the difference between offline and online? Like what with respect to the actual storage, or maybe with respect to activity,
Actually,
action
yeah,
on that
actually,
file? Yeah.
in Oracle, we have a logical name that is a table space. In one table space have a multiple data files. Data files is a physical and table space is a logical. So when you are stopping or when you are doing any kind of recovery restoration, in that case, that data file should be offline. If it is online, the database will not allow to remove it.
Okay.
Or perform any operation. In that case, we have to offline it. So while dropping, I have fired this command. Alter database data file 6. Okay, offline. I took it offline, then I have dropped it. Now I have to do the same online for that file. For database data file 6. So instead of 6, we can give that file name as well. But this is a bit complex, so that's why use ID. Now the alter is worked. Now we'll fire this. Let's start from here. See, 14 records are there. We had only 12 records backup. एंड जो 2 रिकॉर्ड थे उसके आर्काइव लॉग्स थे जो डेटाबेस इंटरनली मीडिया रिकवरी में अप्लाई किया है. स्टार्टिंग मीडिया रिकवरी कंप्लीट. वो जो 2 रिकॉर्ड के आर्काइव्स थे ओरेकल इंटरनली इट अप्लाइड एंड इट and recovered all data. So the main motto and main aim is you have to apply the recovery as soon as possible or with minimum loss. If it is any loss for a business or a company, they can't afford.
So is there any time limit that we should have? We should apply this recovery on with the help of this archive log?
For like database or like what time period like?
I mean to say, like as you said, that this archive, with the help of this archive log system, automatically recovered these 2 records also with the help of recovery command, right?
Yes. Archives means only whatever you are making a changes on database.
Yes.
So the small file it will create it. That kind. This is archive. So these small pieces are archive.
Yeah,
But
that I understood. But these small pieces are getting stored onto the stable storage or not?
Table store, what last
I
question?
mean, any storage, stable storage means like, I mean to say, where the system can rely on, like later on, maybe after some days also, we will be, rather the system will be
Yeah,
able to
yeah, yeah.
recover it.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the thing is like in the product, if you see in companies, we have a backup weekly or daily backup.
Okay.
Once we take the backup, that archives won't work. क्योंकि अगर मैंने आज कल का बैकअप है मेरे पास, आज का बैकअप है और कल जाके डेटाबेस मेरा उड़ गया, तो मेरे पास आज तक का बैकअप है,
Okay.
लास्ट बैकअप प्लस आर्काइव्स,
Okay.
लास्ट फुल बैकअप प्लस आर्काइव्स, देन यू विल रिकवर टिल टाइम, जब जहां तक वो डेटाबेस चल रहा था तब वो एक्सीडेंटल डाउन हो गया, वहां
Okay.
तक रिकवर हम कर सकते हैं. बट इन दैट केस लाइक इफ यू लॉस्ट आर्काइव्स, यू डोंट हैव आर्काइव्स, यू हैव ओनली बैकअप, तो
Yes.
वहां तक ही रिकवरी होगा.
Okay. Okay. So archive भी secure रहना और उसको sustain
Yes.
रखना बहुत important है.
Yes,
Okay.
or
Okay.
even though in the company, we took the backup of archives as well. So
Yes,
database
that's what.
backup is, yes, database
Correct.
backup also there. L1, that is incremental backup, is also there, and archives backup is also there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So guys, any question?
Students, you can ask questions, whatever doubts you have, in line with this particular segment.
Because in your syllabus you have that crash recovery, backup restoration.
Yes, and it was like mentioned for Oracle or MySQL. So on MySQL, they have already practiced the basic commands. That is why we had kept this particular session in order to make them understand backup recovery with Oracle. Oracle, sir. Yeah. Yes, students, please come up with any doubts or any kind of questions in line with database career opportunities, or if you want to become a DBA, what should be the path you have to take up. आप पूछ सकते हो, बहुत अच्छा मौका है आपको.
Sir, the process of taking this backup is continuously going on the back end now in companies.
Actually, the voice is not clear for me. Ma'am, can you interpret that
Yes,
question,
yes,
please?
Rohit, absolutely. Like you were not at all audible, Rohit.
Hello, ma'am. Am I
Yeah.
audible now?
Yes, yes. Now
Yes.
go ahead.
Yeah. In the means in companies, in the backend, this backup process is continuously going on now, or we
Actually,
need to fire this query to take the backup at a particular moment.
okay. In company, actually, we schedule the backup in cron tab. So many companies have tools, or many companies use only server. On server level, you must aware like what is Linux and what is cron tab. So in cron tab, we will schedule the backup. So automatically the script will work and it will take the backup. But that script will work in peak hours only. So peak hours means like जब ट्रैफिक नहीं रहता है, तो उस केस में जैसे अपने इंडिया में तो दिन में तो सब एटीएम चालू रहते हैं, सब एटीएम चालू रहते हैं मीन्स सर्वर पे लोड रहता है, सो ट्रांजेक्शन इज स्टिल गोइंग ऑन. तो बिजनेस आवर्स में वी वोंट रन द बैकअप टू अवॉइड द बिजनेस इम्पैक्ट. अगर बैकअप भी चल रहा है और यूजर के कुछ क्वेरीज भी चल रहे हैं और कुछ रिपोर्ट्स भी चल रहे हैं, उस केस में बिजनेस इम्पैक्ट आ सकता है. तो उस केस में विल रन द बैकअप इन आइडल टाइम, जब सर्वर को कुछ काम नहीं रहता है तभी उस टाइम का शेड्यूल रखते हैं, तो उसी टाइम पे बैकअप चलता है. एंड ये स्मॉल रिकवरी है, लाइक मैंने डेटा फाइल का ओनली स्मॉल दिखाया है, तो उसके लिए डेटाबेस शटडाउन वगैरह नहीं करना पड़ा. बट इफ इट इज बिग लॉस, बिग प्रॉब्लम, इन दैट केस डेटाबेस विल बी डाउन. तो मोस्टली हमारा बैकअप जो चलता है वो नाइट टाइम के और नॉन बिजनेस आवर्स में चलता है और वीकेंड में.
Hope Rohit, you got the answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Actually, we have one more question. Avinash Nikam has typed, hello sir, actually if someone is into Oracle to Postgres migration, what career options that person can explore?
Okay. Actually, Postgres I'm learning now.
Okay.
Still, see here. I opened Postgres inventory and I'm doing that study only. But the option is Postgres is very good. Oracle is very good. So if you are dealing with OLTP database or a big database, in that case, you must that application or client will decide to go with Oracle. If it is bit okay and small, Postgres is also RDBMS database. There is a difference, and now in the market, Postgres is also very boom. But in the current, today's scenario, you must, as a DBA, you must be aware at least two database. So if you wanted to career with good package or deal with good package, in that case, you should know at least two DBs. One is NoSQL and other is RDBMS. It's okay. But I would strongly suggest to everyone, you should know the what is Redis or Cassandra, MongoDB, like any NoSQL database, you must be in with your hand.
Okay. Yes, students, any more questions?
I think chart is not visible for me.
Okay, but I have given the rights
Yeah.
to everyone actually. No problem, I can read. Meanwhile, I just want to understand one thing, like these cloud-based databases are now again, as you mentioned, like it is having boom in today's IT technology, IT market. So, but still this basic knowledge is same, like even though it is cloud-based database, right?
Yes. The cloud database is also same like AWS, even though many students have worked on AWS as well. Like you have to go AWS console, you have to launch the instance, that's it. But
Yes.
in MasterCard or in banking,
Hmm.
they won't use cloud technology. Even though HSBC is using it, but MasterCard denied it. The thing is, MasterCard don't want it to use the data within MasterCard should be in within MasterCard. It should not go outside the premises.
Due to
That's the banking
confidentiality.
policy. Yes.
Okay.
So that's the reason MasterCard won't use cloud technology. So they
Okay.
had a word with like a company. So, but the company is not agree. AWS is not agree to provide the fully control only MasterCard.
Okay. Okay.
So
They,
that's the
because
reason.
they run share model, no? AWS,
Yes.
that is why maybe they have not done, right.
Yeah.
So it totally depends on which domain, rather the data related to which domain is to be hosted or is to be stored onto the cloud. So accordingly, maybe the decisions are
Yes.
taken. Okay. Yes,
And
students.
I got
Hmm.
the opportunity only to work on banking project only. So currently on
Okay.
Mastercard. Before that, I
Yes.
worked with Credit Suisse, and then earlier Standard Chartered Bank. I worked
Okay.
on Standard Chartered Bank India and as well as Singapore.
Okay, okay, great. So majorly, can we conclude that banking related databases are rather the companies who are operating with banking domain, banking based application, they are not migrating on cloud as far as database is concerned, right?
Maximum we can say, but
Okay,
if you take that example, if you take that like HSBC is also banking, but they are on cloud.
okay, okay,
Standard and Poor's, so MGH, McGraw Hill actually. In the every
okay,
book backside McGraw Hill is there. So this
okay,
is also in banking, but they are using a cloud.
okay, okay, fine,
Yeah.
got it. Yes, students, any questions? Anything related to career? Because many of you were like asking me like, madam, if we want to become TBA, then what path we should take up or what value add things we should do. Yes, anything you want to ask, you can unshare your screen, sir, because maybe
Okay.
yeah.
And guys, let me tell you that I learned Linux because of Kiran ma'am only. Okay. The thing is like when we were in college, we were struggling to select the to select that there were one what was that one time SQL and other time Linux was there. So I
Yeah.
decided to select in that training. And finally, I got opportunity and I got selected and I took the training. It was very useful. Even though after 6 to 7 years, after 7 years, still I am taking the name of Kiran ma'am. Because of Kiran ma'am and Dipali ma'am, I learned this Linux.
Thank you so much. We were happy to have deserving students like you. Yeah. So students, I think you're not having any doubt right now, but it's fine. Like if at all in future you come up with certain queries, I will pass on these queries to Yerawar sir, and he will be always happy to address your queries, right, sir?
Yeah. If you want, you can ping me on like LinkedIn